This wonderful 19th century painting shows us Reims Cathedral as it looked before the modern industrial city. Note how massive and grand it stood, silhouetted against the sky, taller than any other structure. The people look tiny in comparison. Construction on Reims began in 1211 and lasted until the 1400s. The cathedral is one of the most important examples of High Gothic architectural style. By High Gothic, we mean that its architects pushed the possibilities of Gothic construction to their utmost extremes. The facade encrusted with sculpture like a ship with barnacles, the portals astoundingly deep, layer upon layer of sculptures, some moved above the portal to gables to make room for more windows. By High Gothic, we mean that the architects have added layer upon layer of stained glass windows to maximize the miraculously jeweled light. Here at the west entrance to the nave, a rose window glows above the doors. A row of lancette windows floats above, and an even more enormous rose window crowns the space. It is High Gothic because the architects have stretched the walls to grander heights. The Gothic style develops as a push for more soaring heights. The Cathedral of Notre at Chartres, number 2 in this diagram, had outdone its predecessors. But Reims, number 3 in the diagram, goes even further. It sets a standard for slender elegance. Reims is High Gothic because it maximizes the possibilities of stained glass, putting rose windows above the doors, where previous cathedrals, such as Chartres, had set solid stone tympanums. Reims makes the glass windows even more delicate than previous windows, using thin stone supports to achieve extreme delicacy and elegance. But there's another way to think of Reims as High Gothic. It expresses the fact that Gothic was considered the royal style, designed with its elegance, splendor, and glamour to dignify French royalty. And Reims was the coronation church for the French kings and queens. It symbolized that their rule was a divine rule. Made in the 19th century, this painting looks back to Reims Cathedral as it was in the Middle Ages, as it would have looked during the coronation of French King Charles VII. The painter has taken the artistic liberty of including Joan of Arc as a witness to the moment when the bishop crowns the king. Joan of Arc was a fierce warrior woman in France's 100 Years' War with England. She helped to save France and then was captured and burned at the stake as a witch. Here she looks up and sees the light pouring into the coronation church, as if witnessing God's authorization of Charles as King of France. The form and splendor of Reims expresses its role as the stage set for coronation ceremonies. The architectural plan reveals that the nave was designed with unusually short transept arms in order to emphasize the processional grandeur of coronation ceremonies. The width and height of the choir and apse, flooded by light, created a dramatic focal point. The site of the cathedral was associated with kings going back to the founding of French royal lineage. A much older church at the site had been used for the baptism of Merovingian King Clovis I, ancestral ruler of France, who converted to Christianity in 496, founding France's identity as a Catholic country. The facade of Reims includes a row of stone figures known as the Gallery of Kings. At the center stands Clovis, hands clasped in prayer to receive baptism. In this way, the sculptural program of the exterior insists again and again on the interlocking of royalty and divinity, on kingship and holiness. And that the royal style was designed to communicate the mystique of power.